This show is brought to you by Go Live TV. Download the app now.
Hello, welcome to the Joe and Joe Show, where we talk about living life with gratitude. Today we have a special guest. He is a father, a husband, a hard-working humanitarian human being. He survived brain injury when he had an accident over a year ago. He's here, Michael Alexandre. We are so glad that you're visiting us today to share your story, how you're moving forward to become the man, the husband, and the father you were born to be. Welcome, Michael Alexandre, today to the Joe and Joe Show.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome. And Jocelyn.
Yeah, I am here with my husband today. Yay, as a special guest. He's always a special
Isn't that
man
amazing?
in my life.
I know. Today we have a special guest, and he happens to be the husband of my twin sister, Jocelyn. Alexanders, welcome today again.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough, Michael, for being here. It requires, I think, a lot of courage to come here to share your story. You're not an extroverted like Jocelyn and I. He's a very quiet, humble guy. Everything he does, it's behind a closet, but he's here today on the outside the world to share with the world, because our show really is a worldwide show, in Africa, in Europe, everybody. I get comments from all over the place, and thank you so much for doing that. And Mike is here today. So I have a few questions. It's going to be from Michael, but I think since he's here with his wife, I'm going to ask both of them, because what happened to you, it affected your lives, you and your daughter. So Michael, can you tell us what happened to you a year and a bit ago?
Last year, this is all, I was told this because I don't remember a lot of it. Last year I had breakfast with my family, wife and daughter, and then decided to cut a branch from a tree in the front. It was a big branch, like 15 feet long, 20 feet long. And so I was cutting it, and I was talking to my neighbor. He heard a noise. He looked over, like, what's that? He saw the branch fall down and then hit me off the ladder. So I fell 18 feet to the road. I missed the curb by this much. I missed the metal grate by about this much. 18 feet, so far away. That's very far. So it took me to the hospital, to Sunnybrook, actually. Had severe traumatic brain injury, also broken pelvis, 3 damaged vertebrae, 2 broken vertebrae, 4 broken ribs, broken neck. The veins that feed blood to the brain were badly damaged, 3 breaks in the skull, and the skull opened up a bit and the brain shifted over. This is everything I was told, because I don't remember everything.
Wow.
Then they took me to Sunnybrook. I was there in was it ICU, is that what it's called?
ICU, yeah.
ICU, and scared everyone to death.
Oh, yeah.
It did scare us, right, Jocelyn? I remember I was at home. Actually, Mike, while he was cutting the tree and making dinner, he was actually making a dinner for me. I had a date. I guess I'm not gonna say that dating, a relationship has not been my strongest calling, but he was making dinner for me and my date. When he was cleaning on that day, he was cleaning and cooking, and then I was like panicking. Oh my gosh, I have to impress these people with my date. So I get a call, and Jocelyn's like freaking out, and she's like, "Joe, sit down." I'm like, "Oh no, Michael fell, and we're on our way right now." Can you tell me how you told me that?
So for me, what happened, I was cleaning the rooms and getting ready for Joe's date, and then, you know, making the house look clean and spotless. So I heard a bang on the door, our neighbor Jose saying, "Jocelyn, Mike is in trouble." And I said, what that could be? So I went downstairs with Aaliyah, and I went outside, and here Mike, he's on the road, laying down, bleeding from his mouth, ears, and nose. And I just start screaming his name, "Honey, wake up! Honey, get up!" And I can tell he's not breathing at all. And of course, when the The ambulance came in. They had to give him a breathing tube because he was not breathing on his own. So he was literally done. And I started shaking. The person who was coming from the ambulance, he had to take Aliyah from my hands because I almost dropped her. And she's screaming as well, "Daddy, Daddy." So it was one of the days I will never forget. And yeah.
Wow, I can't, like, to me, Michael, he's a walking miracle. And when I see people who have survived, I don't know what's the rate of survival with the type of accident that Michael had, but when we see people with, whether it is internal or external damage from the brain injury, can you tell us, Michael, how that has affected your life mentally and just your everyday life?
Everyday life is like with brain injuries. There's concussion, then mild, moderate, now is severe. There's no lollipops at the top. There's no buffet, no nothing. So I was severe. Most people who are severe, they do not return to normal life. Most. Normal life is in walking around, being able to just be humans, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it's funny what you consider human when something like this happens. You really stop and rethink what you're doing. What's been hard for me, for example, actually when I got home in June, I was in the hospital 6 weeks, then 2 weeks rehab, which everyone's amazed, thank God. Everyone's amazed because I had doctors come in, "I can't believe you're responding to me like this. I don't get it." I've had nurses come in and go to another room, come back in, "Michael? Yeah, what's up?"
You're walking.
It's a miracle, yeah.
So the stuff I had to deal with was funny. Jocelyn had a sciatic nerve issue last week, even this week. And I started remembering what it was like for me. Like I'd have back pain and it's literally nerve pain. Like there's no reason for the muscles to be hurting. So it's nerve pain and my leg is freezing cold even now. This leg is cold. All the way till my toes. What else was there? The dizziness.
Oh yeah.
When I change positions, for example, I'm like this and I go like this, I get dizzy for like 20 seconds. That's a long time to get dizzy, like not just mild, going
like
crazy.
Spinning.
Yeah, like vertigo. So there's the cold leg, sore back, the dizziness, feeling sorry for myself because I'm by myself. She had to go to work because EI doesn't pay much, and we went through 2 months of no pay because long-term disability took a long time. What else is there?
You had some double vision
and double
for a
vision.
while, and they're wearing a patch.
They actually took away your drive license
Double
for a
vision,
while.
and then going through this stuff with brain injuries, people don't realize, well, for me at least, all of my body is saying kill yourself. Like 3-4 times a day. It was hard when you're lying on the couch and your body is saying just finish it now. Like screaming at you, not an idea. Just literally all of you, even your toes are screaming, kill yourself. Oh man, was that hard. That was...
So like I'm telling, like I'm
difficult.
saying, Mike, the aftermath after your fall, it's not just visible where you have a patch on your eye and you have to walk where people are looking at you like, are you weird or something? They don't understand you, but you don't have the scars only on the outside, but you struggle with the internal mental health issues because your body is against you, your brain is against you, but yeah, you have to keep moving every day, one step after another. So yeah, just tell us how hard it is for you to live with that internal scars where people don't understand, where you're outside, you have to step away from everybody because you need a break, you need to think, you need to collect your mind. How hard is that for you?
It's funny how mentally it sounds dumb when you say it, but I wish I had a scar.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything, nothing. Like what you see, this is literally what you see. I don't have any scars at all. 18 feet to the road, not a single scar, and 3 breaks in the skull, and not a single line.
Yeah.
Hairdressers don't see anything.
Wow.
So it's hard to know that, why am I feeling like this? Why am I still dizzy? And have nothing to look at to remind me.
Right.
That that part is hard. The other part is with brain injury, there's stuff like neural fatigue, which doesn't affect me much, as forgetting things all the time.
Sleep.
Oh,
Sleep is terrible.
To me, 2 hours is normal at night.
2 hours?
2 hours is normal.
Imagine.
A good day,
Yeah.
last time was a good
Oh, my
night, was 6
goodness.
hours. That was the first time probably since June I had 6 hours.
Hey, we should plan more interviews for you.
June
Maybe
last
you were
year.
too excited, you had to go to sleep.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's hard. And then there's the overstimulation, which I wish they taught about that.
Tell us about that.
Or maybe they did, but I don't know. I was out of it, so it's for example, just say you go to a concert. There's music coming at you. There's lights. There's stuff to see. There's people all around. It's nice. Most people, like before, your brain could filter out what to pay attention to. The problem with me is I get every single thing, even the person blowing his nose way down the street. I get that. And it's hard. Like, it's weird. Like, even today, I guarantee tomorrow I'll be hurting a bit because of this. It's so weird.
Because you're sitting here and
and there's
many
lights.
noises.
It's
Many
bizarre.
activities, yeah.
And that took me a long time to realize, until a good friend of mine mentioned maybe it's overstimulation.
Yeah.
And that, as dumb as it sounds, it's really devastating because, for example, going to church, it's hard for me. The people and everything's loud.
Music.
Everything. For example, last week we went to church. Then my work had this farm thing for the kids, so we brought my daughter to the farm thing. Well, it's busy. There's lots of kids. I was done. Like,
For 2 days, you
I
couldn't
literally
get up?
had to have ear things. I have a picture there in the hospital of me sitting down, covering my ears and closing my eyes. Sometimes that's all I need just to get away from everything. There you go.
Just everything shuts down. Sometimes you go in the room, dark, close the windows and curtains, and it just stays still, quiet, dark.
And you can hear yourself thinking.
Oh, you don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything. You just
It's
want to run
just
away.
your brain. It's like everyone has a bucket. My bucket happens to be this big instead of a normal bucket.
Right.
And it doesn't pour out properly,
Yeah.
which is annoying. So in that picture, for example, I'm like this. And I'm like that often, several times a week. I'm like that for hours. Just, it's hard. But it goes away. That's the good thing. It goes away.
So
I know that
somebody-
I'll have it and it goes away. It used to come every 3 weeks. I'd have 1 or 2 days. So it was my period, I would say. I got my period.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the past 2 weeks, it's been 5 days, like, and then it goes away for a week, and another 5 days. Whew.
Do you think
It's
that
hard.
that causes depression somewhat in your life?
I'm
Michael?
sure for some people it does. For me, I don't think I have depression. Like, I know it's devastating for some people, so I'm pretty happy I don't have that issue. I got other issues, but I don't really think it's depression because I know it's going. I know it's not going to stay here forever.
It's a temporary thing.
Sometimes it
That
sure
is an
feels like
amazing
it.
attitude to have, really, to know that there are good days, bad days, and even if it's a bad day, it's going to come to an end, and a new day will start. And I think that's something that, you know, other people have gone through, same type of accident or any circumstances in our lives where things happen we don't have a control of, that we know it's not going to be forever. It's a temporary, and the new day, the sun will rise again. And I think
Yeah.
that's just such a beautiful
That is
attitude
definitely
to
having a
have.
hope. You know what?
Absolutely.
Mike mentioning about, you know, the changes in his life, and an individual asked me, did Mike change his personality? And you know, to me, I don't think he did. I don't think personality-wise it's changed, but I think it's the situation
Changed, yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
still Mike, even though with the brain injury, traumatic brain injury, people
His
get
memory too.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have it all.
Yeah. So everything was affected, and he's trying to find himself. You know, sometimes he goes back on our pictures and videos, trying to get
remember.
closures, trying to remember. You know, I
Who he
see
used to
myself with Aaliyah at the beach. What were we doing? What was the event? So you know, I try to explain what happened. So I think At one point, he saw a picture of him walking at the beach, and he said, "You know how I feel sometimes? I feel like Mike went for a walk. He has not come back."
He went away.
What did you mean about that? Do you feel like I know I am Mike, you know, old Mike prior to the accident, but I feel I don't know that guy much, and the new guy, I feel like has a lot of issues, and that's not me. So when I just wanted to ask you, when you say that, what's in your mind? What do you think? And how do you try to find yourself?
Your way.
I don't remember saying that because last year.
It touched my heart. You actually
Well, apparently I
did.
said a lot of things last year that were good, but I don't even remember last year. So, but I'm sure I would have said it because I was thinking the other day. It's funny how the memory is like. There's the physical stuff and then there's the emotional stuff. I will remember a picture, for example, in our house. There's a bunch of pictures and I'm in a whole bunch of them. I know where the picture is. I do not ever remember being there. Ever.
Wow.
But I know where it is. For example, it's at Savo Beach. This is Portugal. This is Rwanda. This is Hamilton. This is Toronto. This is this. And I can even name within a square meter where I was. But I don't remember being there at all. That's hard. It's hard to really try to relearn things. You don't know if it's in your head, like, was I really there or maybe not? Or it's a lot of funny mind games.
It's incredible.
So Mike went for a walk and never came back because the physical thing is there, but where's the mental stuff? Why is the mental not with him?
Okay, like the snow. Jocelyn called me the other day and she told me that you woke up in the morning and, I mean, you were born in Canada, you're Canadian, and you looked outside and everything is white and you're like, what is going on? What happened?
Again, it's the weird thing. I went out with my daughter. She was playing in the snow. I opened the garage, grabbed the shovel like this. I didn't even have to think about where the shovel was. And I started shoveling.
What to do with the shovel?
I've never seen this white stuff before.
And
but
you're
I knew
shoveling.
what to do.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's like your physical stuff is there, but your mental isn't. Oh, is that annoying?
But you know,
It's
considering
frustrating.
you're such
That's
a man
confusing.
with the brain, with the precision, I mean, you fix
Yeah,
plane for
but-
living, right?
But still, it's
That's a lot of brain.
what you were saying about the stuff. Every day is like, you learn something, like meeting people, for example, friends. I know them, I know their face, I know whatever. But I have no idea what the personality's like. So I have to why do I not remember that? It's bizarre. So
Somebody's
every single
personality.
person I've had to
Okay.
relearn everything.
Incredible.
It's bizarre. So there's a lot of weird things with brain injuries. I happen to get the weird ones, but whatever. At least, like I said, thank God, because I should be dead. I Googled one time last year, 18-foot fall to the road, and 90% I should be dead.
90.
90.
Wow.
I should be dead. 5% severely handicapped. The other 5% is stuck in a bed. So
You are a miracle, Michael, and we're...
it's amazing. Like, I
Absolutely.
can't believe this.
And so, like, when you look at your life, it's probably going to be a lifetime journey to recover. What helps you to move on every day, to move forward? What's your motivator? Like, I know when we went to a Brampton school the other day, Joss and I had a presentation. We're taking some students to Rwanda to do some work, humanitarian work, and Jocelyn and I were speaking to these kids for about 45 minutes, and Mike was like, hey, you know, you gotta have a vision. You need to have something
To look
forward
to.
to in life. So what do you look forward to? What's your motivator? What keeps you waking up every morning? I know Aliyah was a big part of your life, Jocelyn, mom and dad, who have been an incredible supporters in your life. Tell
For
us.
me, some people have dreams of being on TV, of being on music, videos, of dancing, of being race car drivers, athletes, being whatever. My dream is to, I was telling Jocelyn, my dream is to have a family that I love and they love me. And they feel like Daddy will do this. Mike's gonna do this. What he says, he'll do. That's kind of what my dream is, to live that life.
Wow.
And that kind of, I guess, keeps me going, because with the suicidal thoughts, there was 2 or 3 times that I got up, started walking, went to the stairs, and the last time I just said, no, I can't do this. I don't want my daughter to grow up without a dad, because he said, oh, I'm too tired of this. I can't take this anymore. And I don't want her to put up with having to start over altogether. So really, her and Aaliyah are, as much as everyone else helps, my mom, my dad, everyone helps, it's these two that really, I don't know, they keep me there, I guess. Just by sometimes saying nothing is a big thing. We just sit there sometimes and say nothing. It's just nice. It's comforting to me. And Aaliyah, she knows when I'm off, I'm having a bad day. And she, for a 5-year-old to change like that, like, she'll be different.
Yeah.
Like, super nice. It's crazy. It's one of those things where, thank God that I have that, because it's hard. It's at least that keeps me something to look to.
Absolutely.
That's why, you know, going through this,
your beautiful, beautiful wife, Jocelyn.
Let me tell you something about grateful.
Yeah.
This is why I'm grateful. You know, with Mike being physically sometimes doesn't feel good, sleeping 2 hours a night, which that's his pattern, 2, 6, or 4 or 2. That's not enough. That's a lot of stress already for somebody who's even normal.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of guy who wakes up in the morning, makes me coffee, breakfast, Aaliyah makes sure she's eating, takes her to the bus, lunch, if it's a weekend, it's all done, ready for us to go to eat. Dinner, every time I arrive at home at 6, dinner is ready, cooked on the table. And that's a person who says, I am not gonna stay down. I will not stay down. I'm gonna do my best to, to work for my family, to do all I can to contribute to my family's success and contribution.
The other day,
grateful am I?
You were talking to me, and he had a really 2 terrible bad days. And I called him because I was watching the video that he sent me about being stimulated and how difficult it is sometimes when you're among families, and we're African, and he's from background, Portuguese, and we're loud, we're eating, we're chatting, we're dancing, and that could be too much even for a normal person. But for somebody like Mike, who has a brain injury and when his brain needs a break now and then for too many things going on, I called him and said, I appreciate that you sent me the video so I can understand people like you. But at the same time, while we're talking, was almost, after work at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I talked to him for about a few minutes, maybe 10, and I knew he had a horrible day. Living for him was courage. You know what he told me by the end? I say goodbye. Yeah, Joe, I gotta get up. I need to make a dinner. Jocelyn is going to be home soon.
There you go.
And I'm going, how amazing is that? That sometimes I feel like you might be beating yourself up that you're not a superhero daddy that Ali is expecting, because when he sees you the other day on the top, trying to fix something, goes, Daddy, don't do that. You're going to fall.
Yeah, don't go on the ladder.
Okay, Justin is like, but you are still a superhero to all of us, to her and to Aaliyah, because Daddy is still waking up even though he can't. He pushes to cook, make a dinner. I'm sorry, but not all men that I know in this world who have both feet and everything, they wake up every morning, they make coffees and dinners and walk their children to school. They maybe watch TV and just maybe have some chips, and that's it.
Do you know how spoiled I am sometimes? A couple of days ago, my friend, she goes, so Joe, what do you have for lunch? I'm like, I actually don't know. Let me open, because Mike packed it for me.
Oh my goodness.
So you put a little bit of juice here, there were some strawberries on side, there's a little bit of snack and my smoothie. That is how grateful I am. That's how an amazing husband you are. And of course, Josephine was talking about, he goes beyond what he does at home, and he has a heart for the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
He sponsored a few kids at Shelter Them. He has been with us at Inner Rwanda for mission trip many times, praying for boys and teenagers who kind of on the side, they're older.
It's empowering other people.
Exactly.
That's why you're here and that's why you're staying, even though you don't have any scars on the outside. In the inside, I think if you continue waking up every morning, and I think you journal as well, and Jocelyn told me, writing is so good. It's so important. And I had a question, because you cannot be here on this show and not ask you, Michael, what message do you have to other survivors? They don't have to be brain injury survivors or cancer or any other tragedies or sicknesses that we go through in life. What message do you have to other people who might have internal, visible or invisible scars, or ones they struggle with every day, or mental issues? What message do you have for them, Michael?
The truth is, most of us don't get it.
Yeah.
I never understood brain injuries. If you were to tell me, oh, by the way, in 5 years, you can get knocked out cold, I wouldn't, okay. I wouldn't even have thought about the other stuff that comes with it. So, for example, brain injuries, I don't understand. I didn't before, now I do a little bit more, but that's it. Depression, same thing, I don't get it, but it's real. I was leading to something, now I forget.
That's interesting how, you're talking to people, pretty much,
talking to people is like, I think I got to the point where it's like, I stopped getting frustrated that people didn't get me, because it didn't make any sense. People won't get you. I wouldn't have gotten me 2 months before it happened.
Right.
So how are they supposed to know? It's one of those things, how are they supposed to know? And sometimes you have to choose the right people to talk to. If you're always talking to one person, that person's always giving advice, it's like, you gotta be out of your mind to say that. Stop talking to them about that. Just change the subject. Oh, look at that car, it's nice. Change the subject to something else. Pick your friends. That's another big thing. I don't know if it's important to say, but pick your friends wisely. Because if you only have friends that go out and have fun, and that's it, and you can't talk about specific things in your life, you gotta find people like that. Because I have a couple that it's nice to have people like that.
Absolutely.
To listen, I think most.
To be there for you as well.
To be there, even and if you're a parent and you have a child going through it. My mom, my dad being there, huge. You saw the pictures. My mom, that's my dad holding Aaliyah. She actually saw the video. She was afraid to touch me because I had stuff in my nose and this and that. And that's my mom. It's nice to know that you're loved.
Yeah.
And you have to know that you're loved, because it will help. It will help.
It will. Support is big, and you can't walk in this life alone, especially when you're going through that, right?
You don't need 600 people to support you. You know what? There may be only 1 or 2. But if you know someone going through this and they're your friend, be a friend who's always there to listen. Don't always give advice. Don't bother. Just listen. And having people like that, like sometimes she just listens, and what can she say? I don't know, but it's nice.
Be there for you.
It means a lot to me that people can listen.
So yeah, this is one of the message. If somebody's going through something, what they need the most is to know that you're there for them. Not necessary to give them advice, not necessary to do anything, just be right beside them. And if they want to say something, if they want advice, if they want a prayer, because the prayers are so needed right now, even though Josephine said, Michael, you had a miracle, but miracle needs to be completed because it's still cold, it has so many struggles. So please, if you're out there, continue to pray for Michael, for our home, because we need it, but we need to be there for one another.
Absolutely. And since this show is about living life with gratitude in spite of circumstances that happen to us, I'd like to ask the last question to Michael. I've seen you going to Rwanda, going around even in your neighborhood. Alexandre's name is known for even his father helping in the community. I know you're a big helper. You're like a global citizen beyond Brampton, to be honest with you, beyond your daughter and your wife, that you help every single day. Even for me, I can't even begin to say how many things you've done for me when it comes to my house, fixing everything, because you're such a fixer-upper kind of guy. But you have helped me even personally with many, many things. And honestly, I can't even see any other way you express a gratitude by allowing people to say thank you, because I can say so many thank yous to you at many occasions. How do you practice gratitude every day, Michael? Like, what does gratitude mean to you?
Just getting up and living your life the way you're supposed to. The ones that you love them. Don't just, tomorrow. No, love them. It's, people need help, help them. What's the big deal? Someone needs help picking something up, painting, whatever, help them. That to me is gratitude. You showing that you are thankful for what you have, but actually doing something.
Wow.
That's all I can say.
That is amazing.
Grateful by doing something.
Absolutely. Well, being grateful, it's when you receive something, you say thank you. But I think you are the cause to many people to be grateful. And therefore, that is really the whole purpose of our lives and why we're here on earth. Thank you so much, Michael and Jocelyn, for coming and share your story. I know it's hard, but you've done it, and it's going to touch many lives.
Proud of you, Michael.
We're so proud of you, and we're so happy that you are part of our family. And you're not just a part of our family, you're part of really of the world that you're touching in so many ways. Anything else you want to say last, Michael?
If you got this going on, just don't worry. It'll get bad, it'll get worse, it'll get better. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, this brain injury stuff. So if you have one, don't worry. There's good days, bad days. It's normal. That's all I can say. Yeah. It's normal.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It will get better.
So much. It will get better. So you know what? Somebody said life does not happen to us. It happens for us. And therefore, let's be grateful every day and live a happy life full of gratitude. Thank you so much, our viewers, for watching. Thank you, Michael. Everybody have a great day. Until next time, watch our show and share. God bless.
Thank you.
Ooh.